Hello everybody, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you the weekly message for Twin Flames for the week of February 17th to the 23rd. Well, how's your Valentines, everyone? I hope it was happy. I hope you did not feel the lack of partnership for those who are separated now for their twin flames. And I certainly hope that you felt the love around and you had the opportunity to tell your loved ones that, or show them at least, that they are loved, as are you. Okay, so anyway, kind of curious about this week's reading because Spirit asked me to use this deck. I rarely use this deck, and I was quite surprised why I was asked to use this deck, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so as always, I've already prayed over the cards and shuffled them, and at the bottom of the deck we have here the elephant. He's the bearer of justice. This represents the justice card. So for both twin flames, there is an underlying theme of fairness that is cropping up this week, wanting to be fair to all, wanting that justice to come in to right wrongs, or if some wrong has been done to you. Not to say that, other people that will get swift karma or, get their comeuppance, but that's how things balance out, really. Okay? Because we have the Four of Fossils. And this is represented by the rat. Okay? And what I'm getting is that here there will be things that will crop up, situations that have to do with our survival. Okay? Self-preservation, survival, and a need for resourcefulness. But on another hand, because it is linked with this energy of fairness, you see the rat here, of course, the ordinary view of rats is that they're pests. They bring pestilence, disease, and everything else. They hoard things that aren't theirs. But that's what they need to do to survive. So, again, attitudes should be scrutinized, investigated, reevaluated. That would be the better term. Reevaluated to see what you're doing to survive. If it is coming from a place wherein you are hoarding, and that would mean that you're coming from a vibration of lack, okay, rather than abundance, or it is simply trying to understand others who are in this mindset, in this mind frame, okay, because ultimately, look, this is what both twins strive for. The Ten of Fossils, which is in the ordinary tarot, would be the Ten of Pentacles, which would mean harmony, cooperation, legacy. So it's not just, oh, we're good. It's not just words. When you get into the fossils suit, especially in this deck, this pertains to action. Actually, doing something with tangible results, okay? Because look, fairness and trying to preserve oneself, protect oneself from the harshness of the world, from limitation. And you know what? This reminds me of those who are hoarding masks. I know that coronavirus must be out of the news cycle. I spoke about it last week. But look, there are like 70,000 infected cases as of yesterday, and to score how big that is, that number, although it may seem small, that's half the number of twin flames. Okay, we're around 144,000, and not all of us are incarnated at this time. Some have incarnated briefly but passed on, and I know this because some of my listeners and my subscribers have written to me speaking about their twin flames who have passed on. So anyway, there. Just a little bit off topic there. And then we have here the penguin, the seer of shells. And this is a, bring out your creativity, a creative response to this. This would be some sort of a problem, a situation that you have to deal with, wanting to deal with it fairly, and using this creativity that almost like imagination, visualizing that something harmonious will come out of it in your problem solving. And then last, we have here the octopus, which is the 8 of shells. Okay, and here, you know how octopi are? Octopi would be the plural term for octopus, right? They use tactile movement to explore the depths of the ocean, and together with their intuition, because they're very attuned to the tides, to the moon, to their intuition. So in using your creativity to solve this situation that twin flames might find themselves in this week, here, use your intellect coupled with your intuition, okay? Because the octopus is very, very intelligent. But this is, again, coupled with intuition, getting in touch with your higher self, wanting to know how best to approach the matter, okay? And you see, the octopus has 8 tentacles, and each one pertaining to a different aspect of the same situation. Okay, when you translate it to the problem solving that you will need, creative problem solving that you will need here, then that's why looking at it from all angles, different kinds of perspectives, and we're going to see now what we have in store. Okay, for those who are just joining us, if you have just come across this video, please do take a moment to like and subscribe, okay? I truly appreciate it. And if you do find value in what I'm imparting to you from time to time, please do share the video or drop a comment. That helps because of, algorithms, whatever. Okay, here. So for those who are just joining us, this is the side of the divine masculine, this is the side of the divine feminine, and they interplay with each other. We will pick a card later on in the middle to tie them both together as energies of both twin flames for the week. I'm going to open the cards for the divine masculine first. We have here the sea lion, the 7 of shells. We have the seer of fossils, the raccoon. We have here the whale, all-encompassing. Then we have the ram, the earth father. Okay, so here, what I'm getting right now is it seems that the divine masculine is just right about getting to graduate from that level of ascension school, that's what I'll call it, that stage of ascension, that stage of evolution right now, and there, because that's because of the whale. But let's go card by card. First, we have here the 7 of shells, and represented by the sea lion. So divine masculines really being more confident and more comfortable in being authentic and not really having to conform with the expectations of society for traditional males, roles of males. So here now they're allowing themselves to be more carefree, to enjoy, to have some time to play and discover what other what other aspects of themselves they can enjoy, experience, and discover sans those expectations, because those expectations of the roles that we're supposed to play translated as a burden for them. Okay, and now he's being more carefree and going out and really exploring the world. Okay, here. So this the raccoon is really a marriage of curiosity and caution, and usually this has to do with either business ventures. So if you are a divine masculine, or you are in touch with your divine masculine at this point in time, it's like they're exploring, I don't know, alternative careers or other things, trying to marry career with passion, something that they are excited about. Because a lot of the divine masculines, they found themselves, in the drudgery of work. And when you get stuck in that drudgery, and you go to work for the sake of the paycheck, or because you have to, then at the bottom line, you're doing that out of obligation. There's not a real true enjoyment of what you're doing, but you're doing it just because it needs to be done. Okay? And they are changing that, the divine masculines. They are tweaking and re-engineering, redesigning their lives to either one, find a brand new, it's like falling in love again with what they do, finding that passion in their work again, or finding an alternative career wherein, if they have already found their true passion, let's say you're divine masculine and you are a hobbyist, this is trying to build either a business out of it, or making money off of it, so that there is more return in terms of currency, in terms of money, and just rather than just personal satisfaction. When before, personal satisfaction was enough for them. But now it is a marriage of both worlds, because by because they recognize the value in what they do and what they will provide to the world in marrying that I don't know, that hobby, that talent that they have. So again, exploring new avenues when it comes to creating abundance for themselves and getting that personal satisfaction. And see, because he is now comfortable enough to actually get into that new venture, to that new phase. Here we have underneath this curiosity and being cautious, because he's not just like, if this were a wands card, that it's like a flash in the pan, a burst of passion, yes, a good Kickstarter idea that didn't take off. It's not like that, because here, his way, in the third dimension, the divine masculines are going through this, right? But it is a way to integrate that aspect of themselves that has been lost or hidden, submerged for a number of years now, or even decades. Okay? And here, this is the way that they are going to integrate that into their daily lives. And that's why you have here the whale, the all-encompassing. And this thing is going to be big when he finally emerges. And this is, as I was saying, this is not just all talk, okay? He means to actualize and execute this plan, okay? Because here we have the ram, Earth Father, so persistence, dedication, and really it's executing all these plans that have come up from his inner creativity that have been suppressed for a long time, and really meaning to actualize it. Okay, so that's why we have the ram here. He represents, he's like the king of pentacles, so very grounded. So this is not just something that is up in the air. He's well grounded, meaning that he is able now with his skills and in his level of ascension, able to connect it now to something that will actualize and materialize into something that he can use towards his ultimate well-being here in the third dimension. Okay, and let's look at the card here for the Divine Masculines. This is what they're projecting. Okay, we have here the Nine of Swords. So what is this telling us? Because that seems like totally incongruent with the cards that I just read. This is it's almost like cold feet. It's like wedding day jitters, okay, because he's about to graduate, and by meaning to execute all this out in the world that he's living in 3D, that means subjecting himself to critics, naysayers, and it's but natural for the divine masculine to kind of feel apprehensive about this. But if you are a divine masculine and you are listening to this video, this is the thing that you will have to transmute. Okay, because things are going good for you, and this is an emotion that will pass. So let it pass through you, let it be filtered by the silver violet ray of transmutation. Call on oh my gosh, I can't access it. Okay, wait. Saint Germain, yeah, and Lady Portia. Okay, call on Saint Germain and Lady Portia. They are twin flames of each other, and they are the holders of the silver violet ray of transmutation. Okay, so there. So just to transmute that, that jitters, it's like pre-launch jitters, because the outlook is good. And besides, if you're working from your authenticity, there is nothing to be ashamed of, to apologize for. That all belongs to the old world. And you are now establishing your persona in the new earth. Okay, so now let's go to the divine feminines. We have for her here the Seven of Fossils, the deer, the eagle, the guardian of feathers, the seer of branches, or the fox, and the dolphin, the two of shells. Okay, so let's start here with the deer, because what I'm getting here is that it's almost like advice to whatever situation manifests for the divine feminines that has to do with this, something that needs to be balanced out. Okay, we're in some creative thinking. Or where did I get that? Creative thinking is necessary. Okay, because here we have the deer of fossils, and here the divine feminines are gentle and yet very keen, very alert of their surroundings, but then again, very much ready to change direction if they need to. See, you know, if you've ever encountered a deer in real life, you have to approach it very cautiously so as not to scare it off. It's very basic, okay? And like the deer, so the divine feminines now must imbibe this aspect wherein they're very alert of their surroundings. They're very alert of when it comes to the things that may need their immediate attention or may need them to react. Okay, so here, just be ready to change direction when you need to. Be aware of your surroundings, of how things are playing out. Basically, this is not just being an observer, but it's they're showing to me a vision that is like, you know, when you are, let's say you're a wartime correspondent and you have to get the best story because you are ultimately an observer in that kind of situation. But then again, what will the world know? What will be shared to the world if your safety gets compromised, if your position gets compromised? So again, it's like a dual role that you have to play, that you have to observe and yet you have to have that self-preservation level kicked up a notch, because you know, there may be things that might be coming out from left field that you might have to deal with. And that's why this fairness card came up. Okay? So there. And here, what the eagle is saying, we have here the guardian of feathers, is that divine feminines, look, they're going to either need to have a broader perspective of things, look at things from, you know, the drone perspective, just like the eagles here. And, you know, that's one thing I appreciate about drones. Things that we would not ordinarily see, we now can get a glimpse of. Especially those, I find it quite amazing. Those who drones on eagles. You can search for it on YouTube, and so you get a wonderful vista, bird's eye view, really, of what the bird sees when it flies over mountains, over ridges, over forests. So it's wonderful. But in the same way, going back to the reading, the guardian of feathers also tells us that perhaps a message will come to you this week that will bring things to light. Okay, because these are things that are ordinarily not visible to the human eye, to, you know, your perspective on the ground. But there are some things that will come to your attention, that will come to light, and it may come in the form of a message. We have here that feather there. And that's going to require, that's why we have here the seer of branches. We have here the fox, okay? And the fox is, you know, grounded and practical, but very cunning, very, how do you say it? Because, you know, sometimes foxes get a bad rap, except when it's foxes from, number one, The Little Prince, or the foxes from Japan. I know there is a theme park, and I actually want to go visit. I have to check out where that is again. It's like a park wherein they have all these foxes come out, and you can pet them, and of course they make for great pictures. So there, so the foxes, this indicates a very resourceful way of dealing with this situation that has come up, and even this new information that will come to you. Okay, because the foxes, they usually come out at dusk, so it's something that they can traverse between worlds. So it's like the creative problem solving here, or the way to deal with the situation that has arisen, because this is exploring new and creative opportunities, getting ready to explore, but this is the finally exploring other ways to skin a cat. Well, somehow that metaphor doesn't seem appropriate because we're using the animal tarot, so we're not skinning any cats here. No cats were harmed in the making of this video, but I hope you get what I mean. There are many ways to solve a problem. Okay, and that is what the fox is all about. Okay, so the divine feminines now is using their intuition and their ability to move between dimensions, getting access to the fifth dimension, to really find a solution, or here, see, this echoes the octopus. Hold on. This echoes the octopus because ultimately they want a solution that wherein it is happy for all. Everybody is on board with the outcome of things. Okay, and that's going to require here again merger of intellect and intuition. This is grounded creativity and, being practical about the solution, and yet still being able to tap into the fifth dimension, so that, the more fundamental needs of everyone can be met in the solution. Okay, and because the fox is able to traverse different dimensions, the next card we have here is the two of shells, and this is the dolphin card. So this is playfully coming together, creating something, celebrating love. This is live, love, laugh and play, because there's no heavy. With your creativity, you avoided all the tension, all the resentment. It's like you transmuted it in the process. You can see here the violet tones. I think there is a reason why I've been mentioning Saint Germain. Well, I actually couldn't access his name earlier on. Saint Germain and Lady Portia and the silver violet flame, because it is very important to turn the tide in how the outcome of the situation will be, especially for the divine feminines. And ultimately, you want to arrive at this, a situation wherein love abounds, wherein your love for the other persons concerned, even those who are imbibing. It's like the negative aspect of this card, wherein you focus on limit, on lack. There will be a balancing out there. So very important. The elephant is very important this week, in order to really transmute whatever situation that requires the smarts and the problem solving and the intuition of the divine feminines, so that it arrives at a situation wherein there is love all around. It almost sounds like, in an intervention wherein I love you, but it would be in your highest good if you didn't take drugs, if you didn't drink too much alcohol or whatever. So there. And the card for the divine feminine, we have here the Queen of Swords. So here, Queen of Swords, meaning that she will do what needs to be done in this situation, especially since some hidden facts, or hidden issues have come to light. And she's ready to change direction if need be and explore other creative opportunities, explore her passions, so that there is still love and respect between her and her twin flame, if that be the case, or between her and those that have brought up this situation or involved in that situation. Okay, so this is being gentle but firm. Firm is the operative word there, wherein It's not being controlling, but it is uh, gentle strength. Okay, not brute strength, but gentle strength coming from the divine feminines who are approaching the world with these energies. Okay, so your heart is in the right place, and now it's just time to execute. Okay, so I'm going to pick a card in the middle for both twins. Okay, see, Four of Branches. This is traditionally in the Rider-Waite the Four of Wands. So this is, see, a marriage of both worlds, a coming together, an invitation, a facing each other. It's just like the visual here, except here there are fireflies. So what Spirit is saying is in keeping each other in mind, in really understanding where the other one is coming from, then you come together, and whatever darkness that pervaded the situation, that's going to be lit up by all these these fireflies, and that is going to create an enchantment of sorts, in the sense that after all this, once you have gotten past this, gotten past that, okay, gotten past the rat there, then it's like you're going to exclaim to yourself that it came together in the end. And isn't that amazing? Okay, and the way that's going to happen is something that, you know, you wouldn't totally expect, but it'll come across as so magical. Which brings me to a short anecdote, because in the office there's a we have some, you know, stray dogs that the utility persons adopted, and I found myself there one time, and they put up like some bamboo slats, forming like kind of a wall. And so the two dogs were there. If they were in their usual positions, what I did was that I sat right after those slats, and for some reasons I called the two dogs over to me. Okay, you know, just said hi to them, good dog, good dog, good dog. And the moment, I don't usually do that, okay, and the moment they came over, all the bamboo slats fell down because there was a huge gust of wind, and one of the dogs was pregnant. And I was dumbstruck, okay, because had I called them a minute or, you know, a couple of seconds too late, and I didn't call them over to me, they would have been pummeled by the bamboo slats. So, and I didn't know who to tell this story to, but it was, wow. If I was just glad that I called them over, because otherwise they would have been right there in the thick of a vet emergency, I would think. And so there. Anyway, again, it's the love month, so I have several offerings up. Thank you to those who have availed of the readings and the healings, and for your wonderful and lovely feedback. Usually, you know, I find joy. I do not know any of you personally, okay, other than what you tell me, and so almost all my readings are cold, unless you are a regular, of course, then I know that your story somewhat. But I enjoy it because I usually give readings, cold readings, where I don't know anything about the person. It turns out to be accurate, and that makes me happy because it's validation that, you know, I'm just a channel, and it's not coming from me, well, the advice that I'm giving you, but I just make sure that I'm a clear channel so that I can convey the message. Anyway, as I said, it's the love month. So for this month, we have several specials. we have the general love reading, and this is a 16 card reading focusing on your love life and not on any particular love prospect, although sometimes that comes up. And it presents an overview of the current trends in your love life, the past trends, and the future trends in your love life at present. So do check that out. I also have the Fill Your World with Love Reiki, and this is a 30-minute Reiki session with divine codes for love and happiness to overwhelm the planet, for divine love to continue helping manifest the new earth, and to increase the love in your world more than you can imagine. Now, this is a very helpful kind of Reiki because you are also integrating yourself with the new earth and really attuning your frequency to the frequency of the new earth, and being a citizen in the fifth dimension. Okay, so there. And then lastly, I do have the rapid romance reading. I also enjoy doing this a lot because quick answers to questions, but they're very insightful, and then they can help you navigate your relationship. Okay, so the questions that are going to be asked are already set. It's, what does he feel about me? How does he view our relationship at present? What does he want from me at present? What action will he take towards me next? And what message does he have for me that he can't say just yet? Okay, of course, that also works if it's a she. Okay. If you're non-binary, then it's a they. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week. Take care, everyone. Bye.